Guys, so welcome back. I'm a little neglectful on this actual channel. I seem to do a lot of polymer clay work over jewelry making, so my other channel has more stuff. But this is something that I pulled out the other night. These are some of my own beads, and it is the bargain bead box. And this is way back February 2023, so we're basically a little over a year, and I'm finally putting these together. So we're going to get rid of these beads. Okay, so we had some wonderful, wonderful looking beads. That was one of the findings. These beautiful violet purple beads. They are just gorgeous. And I'll show you what those are all about in a minute. Alright, so these are all mine. So basically, she gave us all these wonderful light beads. Okay, and then we got some dark beads here. These were not included in her set. These are what I pulled out because the focal that she gave us was a really dark purple. I don't know if you can see that here. It's like an amethyst, but it's really dark. And I wanted to make something with the violets. But to me, that doesn't match. And I know there are people that put different colors together and they look great. I am not one of those people. I don't know why I have an issue with that. Now, with these other bigger beads, these are amethysts, and these look like they're, I'm going to say these are 10 millimeters. You know, they match perfectly. So I'm going to probably make something with those, but I really wanted to concentrate on the violet. So what I did is I went through my stash, and I found a bunch of these amethyst chips, you know, and I thought, oh, these will look good with it. Because I want to make a pendant, but I didn't have a pendant that would match up. So I pulled some amethyst chips out. I also pulled, I think these are a Michaels set. Yes, they were. These were from Michaels. But again, they're all basically a darker purple. So I put those aside. Then I found these. I've had these for ages. And these are some agate beads. They're dyed agate. But, you know, it probably would look good. But it didn't match. So, I don't know why I have a problem with these. And these are some beads that I made. These are some glass beads. So, I was going through my focals and stuff like that. And going, these might not be too bad. But they just seemed really big and bulky. So, I pulled those aside. And then the other ones that I found that I really, really liked, now I just have to find them, they were agate, dyed agate, and they're just gorgeous. The veining in them is beautiful. But as you can see, they're all really, really dark. But I did find one in that bunch that has that purple in it. Look at that. See the veinings of the purple, and they got just a little bit of green on it. So I thought, you know what, that'll work. So what I'm going to do is we got all these stainless steel, looks like eye pins. So I'm going to make one or two on camera, and then I will probably go ahead and put maybe 6 sets together. And then I'll come back and show you what we're going to do with them. So, this stainless steel, I don't know what gauge it is. But boy, oh boy, my metal, or my cutters don't like to open them up. They're really tough. Okay. So now we have our eye pin. And I'm going to do one more on camera. And then I'm going to go ahead and make 6 of them. And we're going to attach it. And I know this video is a little out there. I get it. Like I said on my other channel, I just got done working on taxes. And I'd come in here and fiddle a little bit while whenever I needed a break. But I had a bunch of people here this weekend, so I couldn't really come in here and make a video with all of the background noise. Alright, so we've got 2 of these. We're going to go ahead and make, we're probably going to make 8 total. And then when those are done, I'll come back and show you what we're going to do with them. So let's move all these over so they're not in your face. Okay, and we'll be right back. Okay guys, so we are back. And I don't like the way that hangs. It's cute, but I want to make that drop a little longer. Okay, so I have some of these. And these are soldered, so you don't have to worry about them coming out. So let me take these. I'm just going to set them right here. I don't have any room over here today. Okay, but if you look in there, you've got your teal and you've got your purple. So what I was thinking of doing is I'm going to use chain the rest of the way. So this is the bottom. Okay, and I could either hang the pins off of there and then just have this hang, which actually looks kind of cute. But I also have some round ones. Let me see what those would look like. I just have to find them. This is what happens when you have way too much stuff. So I could either do that. Okay, so hook that together like that. I think I even got a smaller one. Actually, I got 2 smaller ones. Alright, so let's see what we got here. So I can do that. I can do a huge ring like that. A mid-sized ring like that. There's something about that really big ring that was kind of cool. I don't know, I kind of like the bigger one. Okay, but anyways, I've got the smaller one. Then I've got a little teeny one. Which would make it dainty. And then I even have a littler one. And the good thing about this is I can play around. Except for the fact that I'm going to wire wrap this, so I won't be able to take it off once I put it on. Okay, so that's the dainty one. There's the big one. Or back to this one. I think I'm going to try that one. For a change, we're going to try something else. Okay, so unfortunately though, I wanted to wire wrap it, but it does have a hook on it. And honestly, it's 18 gauge, so it really shouldn't go anywhere. And yes, I just dropped that. So I'm just attaching it to the bottom here. Yeah, see, I don't like it like that. But at least I'll get an idea. Okay, and I'm going to go really small jump rings, and definitely 18 gauge. And I'm hoping to have a little bit of time this weekend where I can get into some of the newer boxes that have come. Alright, so we're just going to do this. Part of me is thinking maybe I need to put a jump ring on this and then just attach them all together. But we'll see what it looks like here. So, see how it might not hang exactly straight. So, let's take this off. Okay. And I don't like the way that one is. I think on this one, I am going to end up wire wrapping it. So literally, I'm just going to break it. Okay. And we're going to start over. So we'll be back. Alrighty guys, so we are back. And we have our wonderful 8 pieces done. So these are what I had before. So they don't look too much different, except I used the brighter silver, and I know that these are not going to come apart. Okay, so we are going to grab some jump rings. And I love jump rings that you really can't see. But I also know that if you use them too thin, that if somebody pulls on the necklace, it's going to end up falling off. So I would rather use like a 20 gauge. But for now, I think I may only be able to use... Well, no. What I meant was I should probably be using 18 gauge, not 20. But I'm not sure if I have some small ones of 18 gauge. So we're going to try 5.5 millimeter, and these are 20 gauge. These are 18, so I'm going to hold those for the pendant. And we're going to see 5, 6. I'm going to go about 10 of these. Some of the 20 gauges are really strong, so I'm hoping that's with this case. And again, these are only 5mm, or 5, yeah, they're 5mm. 5 or 5.5. Okay, so we're just going to do this on each one of them. See, I could even go smaller. So I'm going to do this side with the 20, and the other side I have an 18. I kind of want the jump rings to blend in with them. If you go too thick, then it seems like the jump ring kind of stands out. So that's what I'm trying to avoid. And it's just going to be one of those days. Okay, so there's 3. So we got one more on this one. Three, 4. So that's going to be for the chain. Okay, so these right here, these are 18 gauge. And they're thick, obviously. But if they don't show too much, they might be just fine. And you got to have a really good pair of pliers when you're using 18 gauge. But see, you know they're not going to fall off. And this is what I do. I go back and forth until I find the one that I like. Okay, so I've got one more. And let's see which one I like better. I think that's the one that hit the floor. Boy, it really did hit the floor. I just don't know where it went. Let me hit pause while I look for my missing piece here. Okay, so I found it, and a couple other things down there. Alright, so now let's look at this. Okay, so I have the 5. This is a 5mm jump ring with 18 gauge. This is a 5.5 with, that's 20 gauge. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to put it on this. Okay. That'll give me an idea. I mean, they both look good. I'm going to go ahead and go with the 18 gauge just because I know it's going to be stronger. So, please don't mind me, but I'm going to hit pause one more time. Just so I can go ahead and put these back where they belong. I've been really good lately, really good, trying to put everything away where they belong as I'm working on them. So this is the 5.520. That's what we're going to get rid of. Okay, so now we're using 18 gauge 5mm. Just want to make sure I'm right there. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and hit pause while I redo these, and I'll be right back. Alrighty, let's finish this up. Okay, so go ahead and put these together now. I ended up getting a phone call and came back here and realized that I hadn't gotten this done. I was supposed to do that while we were on pause, but the rest of this necklace is going to be a piece of cake. If my hands will work. It's one thing when you work with 18 gauge. It takes a little bit of strength in the fingers. And for those of you that know me, I don't have that. All right. So now we need to find a really nice chain that these can go on. Okay. All right. So I've got a ton of silver chain. And this is kind of like a dainty necklace, in my opinion. So I've got these two that would look really pretty with them. But because I'm using 18 gauge, I might have to use something with these big rings in them. Okay, so this one is, looks like a 16 gauge, or 16 is the length of them. So we're going to take, all right, now we have to measure, right? So we're going to have that. And then we're going to have our little dangle hanging off the side. So this is about 5 inches. I'm going to say almost 6, so that's 12. So I'm going to need about 8 inches. I like my necklaces about 20 inches. So what did I say that was? 12? So about 4 inches. Okay, so we're going to put it around right here. Okay. I'm going to cut this little piece right there, because there's no way an 18 gauge wire is going to fit through that one. Okay. So now put one strand on this. And do the same with this one. I have to close that one up just a little better. Okay. That's one thing about wire wrapping. Sometimes they get tangled really easy. So I have these rings. Okay. But I also have one that's kind of like a triangular one that looked really cute. So I'm going to use one of those instead, which is right there. Okay, and then we're going to wire wrap. So we have this. We have that. We have that one. So, I mean, I can go straight like this. I just don't like that. Now, this is a little bluey purple. So, it's going to be either this one or this one that's got a little bit of the green in it as well. All right, we're going to try this one. So instead of using wire, I'm going to go ahead and grab a head pin. So let me see if I have any, which I do right here. Ooh, it's 21 gauge. That is not the easiest thing to wrap here. Okay. Kind of like that right there. So I'm going to grab like a round. I think these are sterling silver. See which one I like better here. I could either go a tiny one just for the top. Just so I'm not wrapping right on the bead. But you know what? I don't like the 21 gauge, so I'll be right back. Okay, so I got a little bit of a lighter gauge. And I'm going to do both of these and see which one I like better. Okay. You know what? I'm going to wrap this separate. I'm going to do 3 loops. Okay, I'm going to do the same with that one. And I had one more of these. I lose things when I work. Can you tell? I don't know what it is with me. But I can put 2 things down here and lose them like lickety-split. And I know that I grabbed 2. There it is. I don't know which one. I think I like that piece on the bottom. Okay. It's nice when you have options, just in case you don't like one. So again, I'm just going to wrap this. And I love wrapping in 24 gauge because it's just something that you can do with your fingers. Much easier. Alright, so now let me go ahead and clean this up. I don't know, with the bargain bee box and Sam's and stuff like that, it's really nice when the boxes come with a lot of different pendants, because they give you so many beads but one pendant. And it's nice to be able to put together like a couple pairs of earrings, a couple bracelets. That way you have a whole set going on, but I don't know, one pendant just doesn't do it for me. But if you have stashes where you've never used your other pendants, that's about the only good thing, is I can keep pulling from something else. Alright, so now I've got these two together. Okay, now we just got to put these all together and figure out which one we like better. So, we're going to start with this little blue one. Now, I'm debating whether I want to put them both on the same jump ring. I might. I don't know how it's going to hang. Actually, not too bad. Okay, so let me grab a bust over here. And I'm going to move this kind of far away. Yeah, so you're going to see the whole mess that I've got out here on my table. Okay, no, that's not going to work. I mean, it works great for those two, but it's making this turn. So we need to do one more jump ring here. Or I literally give each one of the chains their own jump ring. That might work too. But we're going to try this first. And if I finish it up, I'll share the finished picture. Okay, so that would be the finished necklace. Let me see if I can bring you in just a little bit. Okay, I know you can't see really good, but that would be the finished necklace with that little piece right there. You know, if that's too big, I have a smaller one as well. So now I'm going to pull this off. Oh, it's just grabbing it. Okay, and this is the other one. Ooh, actually that doesn't look too bad. Okay, with the dark. But if you think that's a little too long, I'm gonna have to pour this out. These are actually, I think the initial idea for these was resin. You just lay these on a piece of tape, put resin in it so it's like a bezel. But they look kind of cool, which is why I grabbed them. Alright, so now you know what that looks like on there. I'll go ahead and take this off one more time and see if I like that smaller. And if not, I have a bunch of round pieces that I can use as well. Oops, I probably grabbed the wrong one, didn't I? Just gonna put that like that. Okay. Uh-oh. What did I do? Nothing. It's just not turning right. Okay, I kind of like that one better. Actually, I really like that one better. So I guess that's what we're gonna end up with. So if I can move all this out of my way, I can show you the piece sitting down. Okay, and if you want, you don't have to make it a one strand. You can add another strand right in the middle. This month's box came with a bunch of fluorite, so you can make another like little strand right here of fluorite. Just like that. I'm kind of liking the simplicity of it, but I can play around and maybe, let's see, we have some of these which are just some dragonflies. So literally I could just take the dragonflies right here, see it doesn't match the silver, and then add another piece. But that's it for our February 2023 box. I hope you guys like that. I don't normally wire wrap, but that one came out okay, I think. So we're going to keep it, and we'll talk to you guys later. Bye.